Oh, Heidi, come play with us. Yeah, I can't do a good Heidi voice calling. Hey everyone, this is Rabbit Explore Animation Bliss, and welcome to another underrated obscure animation corner. So today's underrated obscure animation we'll be talking about today is Heidi's song. And before I get into this, here are a few words from the channel.
Hey guys, if you want to check out more content from this channel, then tune in every Sunday and Monday for new videos. And if you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean there was a bit of animated news that we wanted to talk about, so those would be considered special videos. And if you want to chat with us on social media or see when new videos are being released, then follow us through Twitter and Facebook. And also, please feel free to join our new Facebook group, Chat with Animation Bliss, where we talk about animation with other animation fans. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program.
So Heidi's song starts off with a young girl named Heidi going to the mountains to meet up with her grandfather as her aunt decides to take Heidi to live with her grandfather. And at first Heidi's grandfather didn't want anything to do with Heidi. But then after a while, Heidi's grandfather starts warming up to Heidi and they ended up developing a close bond with each other. But then one day, Heidi's aunt decides to come back to the mountains and take Heidi to live in the city, and this breaks her grandfather's heart since her grandfather was starting to love Heidi. And so Heidi ends up going to the city, and she meets up with this young girl named Clara who was stuck in the wheelchair. And basically, the rest of the film is spent on Heidi's developing relationship with Clara, as well as trying to foil the evil plans of Sebastian and Rottenheimer. So what are my thoughts about this movie? I actually really enjoyed this movie. Like, when a lot of people told me about this movie and said how good it was, I was like, I don't know. I never heard of this movie before. And the fact that it was done by Hanna Barbera, even though I love Hanna Barbera, I was like, I don't know if I should watch this movie. I'm not much of a Heidi fan. But then I actually sat down and watched the movie, and I really enjoyed it. Now, when I was little, I actually heard a lot about Heidi when I was little, but I never really watched any of the movie adaptations that were made about Heidi. So Heidi's song was the very first movie adaptation I saw of Heidi, and I'm glad it was my first introduction to Heidi as a character because it's a really good movie that I felt like goes by underrated, even if you're a huge fan of Hanna-Barbera's cartoons. Like, I love the tone of Heidi's song. I love how there's a lot of music in this movie. I like how they were able to balance out the lighthearted moments with the dramatic moments, with Heidi trying to be as sweet as she can while she's dealing with a lot of scary situations that happen throughout the movie. And I like how the movie was able to balance all of that out. I also really like Heidi's personality as a whole. Like, she's shown as being a very sweet girl who wants to be friends with everybody. Even when there's some people who want to put her down, she still shows a lot of optimism for her character. And sometimes characters like that do get on my nerves where they're happy all the time and there's a horrible situation happening to them and they don't really react. That doesn't happen here. Here, we see Heidi actually act all optimistic throughout the whole movie, and yet she goes through some horrible situations that makes her sad a bit. And I do like seeing that Heidi does get a bit sad when she goes through these horrific situations, and she's trying to deal with it the best she can while remaining optimistic because it shows that she's a complex character, and I really like that aspect of her character a lot. I also really like Heidi's grandfather because he started off the film as being grumpy and even not liking Heidi, but then as the film goes on, he starts loving Heidi and he starts trying to do things for her, and I really like that aspect of Heidi's grandfather's character. I like the fact that he does care about Heidi and tries to do the best he can to take care of her, even though there's circumstances that prevents him from taking care of Heidi properly, or even circumstances that prevents him from keeping Heidi. So I really did like Heidi's grandfather in this film. I also like Clara, the wheelchair girl that Heidi becomes friends with later on in the film, because I like how she's so friendly towards Heidi and she tries to do everything she can to make things good for Heidi. And I like how Heidi's very supportive of Clara and how she tries to have Clara be happy and experience things that she couldn't experience because she was bound in a wheelchair. So I do like that aspect of the friendship between Heidi and Clara. I really like the songs in this movie, and some of my favorite songs in this movie were That's What Friends Are For, which was sung by Peter the Shepherd Boy, and the boy who works for Heidi's grandfather. And I also like the song Imagine, which was sung by Clara as she's talking about the things she wanted to do once she gets out of her wheelchair. So those are some of my favorite songs from Heidi's song. But probably my most favorite part of this movie was the animation itself. I mean, I never saw such fluid animation from Hanna-Barbera before because I'm so used to Hanna-Barbera having cartoons that were like stilted for the most part, but with this movie, the animation was very fluid, the characters moved very realistically, and I loved the animation in this film. And I just think that the animation in this film was one of the best animations done by Hanna Barbera. There was actually times where I thought that this animation was done by some other studio because of how fluid it was, but I'm so glad that Hanna Barbera was able to make the animation so fluid in this film because it made this film so enjoyable for me. Now, if there was any problems that I have with this film, was that I felt like some of the characters could have been better developed. Like, I don't know much about Heidi's aunt and why she wants Heidi to move around so much, or how long she's been staying with Heidi. And I don't know much about Heidi's grandfather and why he's so grumpy all the time. Maybe it's because he lived by himself all these years and nobody really came by and been nice to him. But yeah, some of these characters I think could have been fleshed out a little better if they developed the characters a little better in this movie. But overall, I really enjoyed Heidi's song. I think it's an underrated classic that should have been seen by a lot of people, especially if you're a huge Hanna-Barbera fan. I think this is one of the best animated films they ever made in the early 1980s, and it's definitely worth a look if you're a Heidi fan. Well, that's my review on Heidi's song, and tell me in the comments down below, have you seen Heidi's song? And if you have, did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? And what's your favorite movie adaptation of Heidi? Please feel free to comment down below. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, like this video? Then please feel free to hit that like button. And also, hit that subscribe button for more animation content from this channel. And now, roll the credits please.